Hello friends, welcome to Parthin, and today we will be starting our geography series, and the first topic that we will be covering is universe. From this topic also a lot of questions have come previously, and the last one that has come was in 2016 up to my knowledge, and further we will be seeing some of the previous year questions whenever we end one of our subtopics, and in the end and in the description link will be a link to our test where you will find a lot of previous year questions and other questions to practice. Okay, so let's begin. So basically, what is universe? Before starting that, I would like to introduce you to some of the terms which I had confusion with in my childhood, and that is million, billion, and trillion. Because universe is so big that we will be talking in the terms of billions, millions, and trillions. So million is basically 10 lakh in our Indian term. Billion is 100 crore. Trillion is 1 lakh crore. Okay. So as you can see in million there are number of zeros is 6, billion number of zeros is 9, and in a trillion number of zeros are 12. To give you a hint of what a trillion looks like is, you know this person Mukesh Ambani. He is according to Forbes 2020 India's list, he is the richest man and his net worth was 4.04 lakh crore. It is not 4.04 lakh, neither it is nor it is 4.04 crore, it is 4.04 lakh crores. Okay, so that's how that's how rich he is. And so moving further, what is a light year? Light year is basically it is a unit of distance what we use in space, because one light year is 9.3 trillion kilometer. How we come to it is, the amount of distance that light travels in a year is called light year, and the speed of light we all know is 3 lakh kilometer per second. So with that speed, the distance covered by light in a year having 365 days, 24 hours in a day, 60 minutes in an hour, and 60 seconds in an hour. Okay, in a minute, the light travels 9.3 trillion kilometers in that much amount of time in a year. So moving further, light year is just a unit of distance. Space between two stars is interstellar space. Sun is also our star. Okay, like our sun, there are a lot of stars. But the things that we see in our in the night in our sky are basically stars. And if you go very far, some trillions of kilometers away in some other galaxy, our sun will also appear like a star twinkling. Okay, so distance between any two stars is interstellar space. And you can see the logo of this movie Interstellar. I would highly recommend you to watch this movie once. It is a very nice movie, and after you finish this video, just watch this movie once. A lot of concepts of yours will get cleared, and it is very interesting also. So moving further, sun is also a star, as I have already told you. The distance between our earth and our sun is 150 million kilometers. 150 million kilometers is a very huge distance, and the light that escapes from sun, that is our sunlight, it reaches to our earth in approximately 8.5 minutes. That is approximately 500 seconds it takes, with the speed of 3 lakh kilometer per second, and distance it has to cover 150 million kilometers. If you divide distance by speed, you get time, which comes around 500 seconds. So that's much how distant sun is from our earth. The light takes 8.5 minutes. When you switch on a tube light, you immediately see it within a fraction of second. The light reaches to your eyes, but the sunlight takes 8.5 minutes. So you can imagine how far is it. Our solar system, the sun and our 8 planets, they come in our Milky Way galaxy. Like our Milky Way galaxy, there are a lot of other galaxies also. In our Milky Way galaxy itself, like our sun, there are approximately 100 to 400 billion stars. That's how big our Milky Way galaxy is. And in the universe, approximately there are 2 trillion galaxies. 2 trillion galaxies. Okay, so each galaxy having approximately 100 to 400 billion stars, and universe itself having 2 trillion galaxies. So you can imagine the amount of stars there are in our universe, and so that's how big our universe is. Moving further, how the universe was created, the theory that the most accepted theory, the most adapted theory. There are a lot of theories about how the universe was created, how we came into existence. Among those, all the theories, the most accepted one is Big Bang theory. Big Bang, as you can imagine from the name, some explosion must have occurred. A very big explosion must have occurred. Suppose we are lighting a firecracker. So before lighting the firecracker, you are having a light in your hand. So that is one story. When you light it up, that is one story. When it bursts, when it explodes, that is one story. And after the explosion, what the remnants of it are on the ground, that is another story. So what happened before that explosion called Big Bang, what happened after that explosion called Big Bang, we will be covering that in our further slides. Okay, so there is one theory, according to this theory, in the beginning, before the Big Bang, before that explosion, matter and energy. Matter is, as you know, anything what you can see, what you can touch, what you can feel, that is matter. The mobile that you have in your hand is matter. And energy, as you all know, a lot of energy is there in our surrounding: chemical energy, heat energy, sunlight energy, light energy. Okay, like that. So in the beginning, matter and energy were in a continuous state of conversion. Matter was continuously being created from energy, and energy was continuously being created from highly energized matter. Okay, according to this theory, and the entire universe was made of energy itself in the beginning. That energy was positively charged, and it was uniformly distributed. We all know that there are two kind of particles, one positively called proton, one negatively called electron. So you can imagine in those terms, just for the sake of imagination, that the universe was entirely filled with protons, and the protons were uniformly distributed all over that huge space called universe. Okay. Also, according to this theory, in the beginning there were three elementary particles that made up the universe. They were leptons, bosons, and quarks. Just remember these names: leptons, bosons, and quarks. Boson, you all must have heard the name a lot of time. A few years back, when the God particle was discovered, and it was named after the scientist Higgs boson. So you can remember that name from that, bosons. Lepton, you can, if you want to remember, you can imagine the green tea, Lipton green tea. Okay, it is not exactly Lipton green tea, but you can imagine, you can correlate with that name. So three elementary particles, you have to remember the name. This CGL can ask anytime, like it has also asked previously also one question like what makes up the outermost layer of the sun. So either it is lithosphere, chromosphere, corona, like that. Okay, so it can give you any question like that: what were the three elementary particles that made up the universe according to Big Bang theory in the beginning? So it can give you options like whether it is electron, proton, neutron, or it is electron, lepton, boson, or lepton, boson, quark, or boson, quark, and proton, like that it can give you. So you should remember these names: lepton, bosons, and quarks. That these were the three elementary particles that made up the universe in the beginning. So friends, let's move further. Large Hadron Collider. You must have heard this name a lot of time. A few years back, this experiment was started in Switzerland-France border in the city of near the city of Geneva, and basically this experiment was started to get a grasp of how Big Bang would have occurred and what would have happened just after Big Bang. So here is the city of Geneva, as you can see on the Switzerland-France border. On the first map you can see Switzerland and France in the map of Europe. On the second image you can see the city of Geneva, and there is one word written CERN, like NASA we have for India, CERN we have for Europe. Okay, so that CERN facility, there the Large Hadron Collider is located. Wait. So at the bottom, the third animation that you can see is can you see this particle? This is moving, this is emitted, and it is accelerating, and it is rotating, right? It is going further. Again one more particle has been emitted in this tube. This is also gaining speed. It will go into this circle, it will also gain speed. They both have gained speed, a lot of speed they have gained, and now you just see what happens. This one is going that way, this one is going this way, and they both, and boom, they collided. Again they collided down, again they collided. Okay, so this is basically to give you a glimpse of what happens in the Large Hadron Collider. Hadron particles are made to collide, and they will form the elementary particles, what we just discussed, leptons, bosons and quarks, and which will further convert into energy, because in the beginning, as I have told you, matter was continuously being created into converted into energy, and energy continuously being converted into matter. Now came this Higgs boson, that is God particle. What happened was, suppose this is the elementary particle that was formed. Okay, this white one, it enters this field, this check area you have seen, the lines that you are seeing, this is the Higgs field. It enters into this field, and a lot of particles are emitted from it. This is the Higgs field. The elementary particle, it enters into the Higgs field, and a lot of particles are emitted from it. Why this happens is, one of the elementary particle that was formed was Higgs boson particle. Okay, what it did was, it retarded the speed, it retarded that elementary particle that was formed earlier, and it resisted it from getting converted into energy. Rather, it forced it to create small particles, small mass it gave to the particles, and hydrogen was formed. Okay, you see, the symmetry between mass and energy was lost. That is due to collision with this Higgs boson particle. Matter was not converted to energy, and energy was not converted into matter. Rather, it got converted. A new particle was born, that was hydrogen gas. And as we all know, hydrogen forms stars. Two hydrogens combine to form helium. Helium combine to form carbon. Further, we will study about this, and that's how the star is born. So, primitive stars were formed due to this Higgs boson particle. Now what happened was, because a lot of stars were formed, this I am talking about millions of years. It takes millions of years for a star to form by the collision of hydrogen particles. Okay, so a lot of stars were formed, and what happened was, all these galaxies that were formed due to those stars, due to their gravitational pull towards each other, they got attracted towards each other to a point of singularity. This point of singularity, right here, what you are seeing, this is the big crunch. Crunch means getting something squeezed. Okay, so this big crunch occurred, and all the mass in the universe, all the mass of all the stars, all the galaxies, they got combined into just one point of singularity. Okay, and size of the singularity is assumed to be that of a proton. Proton is very small. If you have studied in science, proton is very small particle. Okay, so much of mass, so much of density in just one single point. So what was going to happen? Explosion was going to happen. In a fraction of a second, Big Bang explosion occurred, like this. All the particles got emitted, they were scattering everywhere. Okay, now again comes the stage of big crunch. All because of gravitational pull towards each other, they again got combined into one point of singularity, and it got so dense because of so much of mass getting accumulated in just one single point of singularity. It again will burst. You just look at this animation. This is the big crunch, and again boom, this is the Big Bang explosion. And again, all these, you can assume these particles which are going here and there as galaxies, stars, okay, other planetary objects. Then again, due to their gravitational pull, again this is getting contracted. So this is how our universe is working. There is one theory that currently our universe is in the expanding state. Again it will start contraction when the gravitational pull towards each other starts, and again there will be a stage of big crunch, and again there will be a Big Bang explosion, and again all galaxies will be born, all stars will born, like that. Moving further, as I just now told you, the universe is currently in an expanding state. It is not contracting as of now, so you have a lot of time to live. Okay, so to understand why it is said that it is in a expanding state, you see, there is one theory called Doppler effect. In this Doppler effect, it is said that if anything is going farther, it will be visible to us in the color red. If anything is coming towards us, it will be visible to us in the color blue. Okay, so as you can see in the animation which is going on your screen, look at the center of the screen. These spiral objects, these objects, when they are coming towards the center, they are blue. When they are nearing, they are getting green, and when they are moving further away, they are becoming red. So that's how we come to know that the universe is in an expanding state, because most of the thing around us are showing us red shift. This is known as red shift. If something is going further away from us, it will show red shift. If something is coming towards us, it will show blue shift. Every object in the universe is showing red shift, all stars, all galaxies, except one galaxy, that is Andromeda galaxy. Okay, this is showing blue shift towards us because this galaxy is approaching our Milky Way galaxy. So if CGL asks you, according to Big Bang theory, the universe is in an expanding state A, in a contracting state B, in neutral state C, or none of the above, so you can tick mark expanding state. Why expanding state? Again it asks, due to Doppler effect, due to red shift. Okay, if it gives you the option which of the following objects is showing blue shift, or it is coming towards Milky Way galaxy, you can say Andromeda galaxy. So friends, next is stars, but about stars we will study in our next video. That's it for today, and please like the video if you gain something new, if you gain some new knowledge today from this video. Subscribe to it if you want to know further about a lot of things that are unknown to you. If you want to gain new concepts, basically we'll be clearing all the concepts. And also share the video a lot if you want to discuss it with your friends. Your friends should know what you have learned, so that you can know their angle also, and you can gain from the discussions that you are having with your friends. Some knowledge you are having, you will share it to them. Their knowledge will increase, your knowledge will increase when they share something with you in the discussion. So that's why knowledge increases by sharing, and after all, sharing is caring, as we are told in our school also. If you have any doubts, please do ask us in the comment section, in our telegram channel link which we have provided you in the description. You have to ask doubts there also. You have to solve the questions on solar system and ask us doubts. Every doubt will be cleared. Our main focus will be on doubt clearing also only, because you can see these, you can gain knowledge from anywhere. You can read the books, you can watch any video, you can do anything to gain knowledge, but doubt solving is a major part in in clearing these exams. If you are studying something, definitely you will get doubts that why this thing is happening, why that thing is happening. So we are here to clear every doubt of yours. Please do ask us doubts. Okay, so see you in the next video, and then we will start with stars. Thank you.